Welcome to BioWise with Aanchal. Thank you for subscribing the channel. All those who are there in my previous video know that the first part of transpiration, the link of the same is given in the description, is already done. So you are aware about transpiration, its definition, its importance to the plant, and what are the different types of transpiration, what are the experiments that can be asked on the process of transpiration, and also about the use of cobalt chloride paper to detect the amount of moisture, right? So today we will be talking about the factors affecting the transpiration. Factors can be internal or external, okay? You have external factors and you have internal factors. Now what is external factor is the intensity of the sunlight. Intensity of sunlight, right? Then you have temperature. Then you have humidity, velocity of wind, carbon dioxide concentration, and last you have atmospheric pressure. Please remember, humidity and atmospheric pressure are inversely related to transpiration. Rest all show positive transpiration. Okay. Now, when you talk about the intensity of light, when the light intensity increases, the rate of transpiration also increases. Next one is the temperature. The rate of transpiration increases with the increase in temperature, similar to the evaporation process. Now, when the temperature increases, the rate of evaporation also increases, right? The same way the transpiration also increases. Humidity is inversely proportional to the rate of transpiration. For example, in rainy season, the clothes do not dry, right, because evaporation does not happen. Similar thing in the plants also. If the humidity is high, the water content in the atmosphere is high, so obviously the water will not get transpired, right? In that case, in humid season or in say in winter season, low temperature and high humidity, the formation of dewdrops happen because transpiration rate is very low, but the water intake by the roots is normal. So it increases the fluid pressure in the plant, which leads to the loss of water from the vein endings in form of droplets, which is called guttation. So it comes out as dewdrops. You must have seen in the smaller plants, grass and all, lily, you see there are dewdrops in the morning in winter and rainy season. They are because of the less of transpiration and more of absorption and release of water in the form of droplets from the hydrothodes, that is called guttation. Velocity of wind, more the velocity of wind, the rate of transpiration will be high. Carbon dioxide concentration till 0.03% is like the stomata is open. The rate of photosynthesis is high. If rate of photosynthesis is high, the stomata has to be open. But when you have more of carbon dioxide, like you go and blow air on the leaf, then the stomata closes. Atmospheric pressure, increase in atmospheric pressure decreases the rate of transpiration. Now, what are the internal factors? Internal factors means the water content of the plant or the leaf. The water content of the leaf. If you don't water the plant much, the leaf will start rolling the corners. Finally, it turns brown because we cannot control the rate of transpiration as such. But if there is no water, the leaf gets dried up from within. Right. So, water content in the plant plays a very important role for transpiration. We rub this now. We talk about the adaptations for transpiration. Next, we talk about the adaptations to reduce transpiration. So, what are the adaptations to reduce transpiration? This question can be asked for 2 marks and it is generally asked. So the first is sunken stomata. Sunken stomata. Now stomata is not exposed to the atmosphere directly, so the rate of transpiration is reduced. Okay. Then you have fewer stomata. Fewer stomata, that is the number of stomata present in the leaf is reduced. So the rate of transpiration does not happen much. Next one is reduced surface area. Reduced surface area. The leaf starts to roll from the corners or droop down to avoid the transpiration process, or to avoid the rate of transpiration. Exposure to the sun is reduced. Okay. Then next one is narrow leaves. Now in certain areas you find out, in basically the colder countries and all, the pine tree and all, you have got needle like leaves. Now the function of these needle like leaf, they are doing photosynthesis. Okay, they have stomata but very few. Moreover, the needle shape also reduces the concentration of stomata in the leaves, and at the same time, if water is lost in the cooler countries or cooler areas, they get solidified. That may affect the plant. Okay, so to reduce all those, the leaves are very narrow in certain plants. Okay, next one is reducing the leaves. Reducing leaves, like in some deciduous trees, you'll find that in autumn and all, they shed their leaves. Now there are no leaves present on the trees, so obviously the rate of transpiration will not happen, so the plant will conserve water. Now in that case, it happens only after spring, when autumn is there before winter, the amount of water content in the soil is reduced. Okay, so to avoid the excessive loss of water from the leaves, they shade all the leaves. That is your deciduous trees. Now you should know that about 100% of water, if you say, 99% of water is lost in form of water vapor by the process of transpiration. So the plant can conserve that much of water if it can follow these adaptations. Is that clear? And the last one is the thick cuticle. Now if the waxy layer present on the leaves is thick, the rate of transpiration will automatically get reduced. Is that clear? So we have understood about the adaptations also. Now what is the significance of transpiration? The significance of transpiration is cooling effect. It cools the plant. Plant stays outdoor, right, in the environment, in the atmosphere, that is without house, air conditioned, fan. So it needs to be cooled down naturally. This transpiration does the same thing what perspiration or sweating does to us. It cools down the body, and at the same time it provides a kind of suction force which helps in the ascent of sap. Is that clear? Next one, for the environment, if you say, for the mother nature or earth, you say, transpiration helps in bringing rain. Since our childhood we are studying that forest brings rain. How? Because forest adds up to the water content in the atmosphere by the process of transpiration. So transpiration helps in the rainfall. Understood? Now this is all about the chapter. There are two more words included in this chapter. One is guttation, one is bleeding. Now guttation is, I already discussed, the oozing out of water in the form of water droplets from the vein endings of the leaves, that is hydatodes. And bleeding, what is bleeding in us? Whenever you get a cut or injury, there is blood coming out. That is bleeding. In plants also, when there is any kind of injury and the cell sap comes out, that is called bleeding. Now when you talk about the content or quality of water that is being evaporated, transpired or comes out in guttation, generally in transpiration it is pure water, water vapor, it's pure water. Guttation, it has dissolved components, the same quality of water which is moving in the xylem. And when it comes to the cell sap, that is bleeding, so entire content of the cell comes out in form of bleeding. Is that clear? Now as I promised about the important question that was asked in the year 2025. Okay, 2025, the entire tree was given to in the question. Okay, and the question was asked that what does these arrows denote? Okay, what does these, the root is also there, root and all, so what does these arrow denote? So according to the question, the first one was osmosis, that is endo-osmosis happening in the root. Next one was the ascent of sap, ascent of sap, and the last one was transpiration. So just by writing these three words, the children could easily score 3 marks. Okay. Now other questions that is important, that has come in the boards, that from the year 2015 onwards is given in the description. You can download it, solve it. If you have any query, put it in the comment section. Thank you children and happy learning.